So you may have heard of Penguinz0, also sometimes known as Moist Critical. He has over 14.7 million subscribers on YouTube and a staggering 8.95 billion views. I think it's safe to say Penguinz0 deserves a star on the YouTube Walk of Fame. Charlie is known for his uniquely monotone voice and ridiculously savage roasts when he calls out other creators. Even Andrew Tate and his brother, Tristan, are not safe. This is what Charlie had to say about their arrest.
Andrew Tate and that zit that has latched himself on to Andrew Tate like a leech, Tristan, his brother, have both been arrested on human trafficking charges.
Yikes. Roasts like that can end a man's career. Sneako. Let's kick things off with a Penguinz shenanigan that caused an earthquake in the streaming world. Sneako, the popular social media personality, got absolutely humiliated by Charlie's roast. A year ago, Penguinz0 began his rants against Sneako, who had recently been banned from YouTube. Apparently, a lot of people refer to him as Diet Andrew Tate, without any flavor. It all started when Charlie made fun of Sneako's friends, whom he describes as beautiful clowns that do some very silly stuff.
I made jokes about his friends on the Fresh and Fit podcast, whom I think are beautiful clowns that do some very silly stuff that is entirely entertaining to make fun of.
Sneako got offended on his friend's behalf. Now, that's not the behavior you would associate with a red-pilled alpha male. And Charlie calls out the irony of someone promoting masculinity, yet whining like a little bitch at the same time.
Red-pilled, and thinks of him as like a no-nonsense kind of guy who tells it like it is, a man's man. And yet, Sneako cries more than a 12-year-old going through puberty.
Ouch! Sneako was very offended by the video, and after a few months of him attacking Penguinz0, Charlie was back to roast Sneako with another video. Sneako had gone on stream dancing around with a gun, threatening to shoot Charlie. Charlie responded by showing his own guns and absolutely roasting Sneako. Apparently, Sneako doesn't know the difference between mags and clips. If you don't even know that much about guns, you should probably not be holding them just to show off on stream.
And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a f***ing imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy.
Sneako is not recovering from this. Richard Burgess. You won't believe the insane shit that went down between Charlie and this vegan bodybuilder. The mentally ill vegan isn't known for his sanity, as he would go as far as making fun of children with cancer in his videos. He even threatens to attack babies crying in their strollers.
And when I say babies in a stroller, especially when they're crying, I just want to put my foot through the and step on it until it's nothing but blood and pulp on the pavement.
Richard Burgess rose to fame on YouTube due to his controversial content where he calls out meat eaters, and particularly other bodybuilders. Soon, he became notorious among the YouTube community for his aggressive and controversial style. No one likes a militant vegan, or tofu for that matter. Fun fact, around 2020, he had begun losing thousands of subscribers and was becoming irrelevant. He saw this as a perfect opportunity to get into a beef with Penguinz0. Charlie was exposing a YouTuber making content where she tortures and even eats animals alive. How can anyone possibly enjoy something so inhumane? Vegan Gains, Richard Burgess's account, would release a video titled Penguinz0 the Arch Hypocrite. He calls Charlie out and accuses him of being worse than the account just because he eats meat. Many of the arguments Richard made in the video were irrational and didn't make any sense. Charlie would finally respond to all of this, blaming Richard for single-handedly giving vegans a bad reputation.
They vilify anyone who's not a vegan. They treat it like a cult where you're a huge piece of shit, evil and wrong if you're not in their club.
Charlie himself seems to respect vegans, but people like Richard, with their aggressive attitude and the monsters in his comment section, demonize anyone eating meat. Now, we all know that animals eat other animals to survive, and we don't blame them for it, so why should we blame humans?
But I have to ask, then does that make every animal in the animal kingdom inherently evil? Because the vast majority of animals out there eat other animals to survive, and they don't do it quickly.
That doesn't make any sense. Don't think militant vegans will be able to answer that question. Charlie says he supports meat alternatives and sees them as the future, but no one will do so if people like Richard Burgess are the face of the movement. Nikocado avocado. Now, if you've been in the YouTube world for a while, you may have heard of Sneako Avocado. This YouTuber is known for clickbaiting his content and faking injuries for views. It's no surprise he would also become a victim of Penguinz0's roasting. The notorious mukbanger will do anything for views, even if it harms his health and relationships. However, he wasn't always obese. In fact, he started his account as a vegan. It's the mukbanging content that turned him into what he is. His increasing health issues led to the entire internet growing concerned, as no one wants to see him throw himself into a coffin. This led Penguinz0 making a video on him in 2021 titled, "This YouTuber is slowly killing himself for views." In Charlie's own famous opening words, "How bad do you want to suckle from that juicy tit of internet clout?" In this video, he would talk about Sneako's descent into obesity and showcase some of his unusual recent content. That is one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen. Sneako often blames the viewers for his obesity. While Charlie agrees that the audience might be partially responsible, Sneako isn't always known for being honest. Whether or not he actually has the disabilities he claims is anyone's guess, I suppose. Moving to his main point, Charlie says that Sneako is deleting himself for YouTube views. He is slowly descending into madness and unaliving himself and documenting the journey the entire time. The most important part is that he is well aware and fully understands what he's doing. Blaming the viewers isn't going to bring back his health though. Charlie also criticizes Sneako's attempts to lose weight, as he seems to be gaining 10 pounds for every one that he loses. This is how he describes the half-hearted attempt at self-improvement.
And I tune in occasionally just to see if Sneako Avocado is making any strides in helping himself, because it seems like he really wants to sometimes, and then he goes right back into going to Chick-fil-A to literally eat fucking food off the floor like David Hasselhoff.
Charlie's video went on to get more than 16 million views as he spoke on what many in the YouTube community were silently thinking. Jason Wojo. Now, this guy isn't just someone who got roasted by Charlie, but his entire career was destroyed as well. Jason Wojo was a finance TikToker, if you can even call him that, who not only wanted to steal your girl, but he tried to get into a fight with Penguinz0. Big mistake. Let's just say he got absolutely decimated. So much so, in fact, that his entire online career would come crashing down. If you were to look up fake social media gurus in the dictionary, Jason Wojo's name would be the first to pop up. This guy is just about as much of a social media guru as I'm Joe Biden's speech translator. Jason's Instagram has over 900,000 followers. Although if we look a little deeper, I'm sensing someone's been buying his followers here. Am I right? It's no surprise that 75% of his followers are actually fake. Much of his content looks staged, and his claims of being a multi-millionaire are just as dubious. If this guy's a multi-millionaire, then I will happily wax Donald Trump's back. Penguinz0's video would make Jason Wojo think twice about everything. He begins by dissecting a TikTok video where Jason claims that any girl would choose him over you, the viewer, because of the wealth he supposedly has.
Take you, for example, and me, and we both pull up and we go to your girl. Odds are I'm gonna take that bitch. If you compared me to you, you're not gonna win that battle.
I'm not going to lie, rocking that man-dark body had me in stitches. For those of you who don't get the reference and want to laugh, look up Dexter's Laboratory, Mandark. Charlie also went on to describe him as a real-life Mr. Krabs.
This guy's entire personality is money. He's like a real-life Mr. Krabs, but with even skinnier arms.
I don't think I could come up with a more accurate description of Jason if I tried. And this guy certainly ain't no Quadzilla. I've seen better legs hanging out of a bird's nest. Charlie's roast didn't stop there, and he would eventually follow up with,
"You have absolutely no meat on your bones whatsoever. The only foe you're equipped to handle is if the gingerbread men from Shrek tried to attack your girl, then maybe you could fend them off."
Oh! I mean, I have to agree, this guy's arms look like two chopsticks glued together. Charlie would then go on to explain why Jason isn't all that rich and is pretending. We all know it's rented. Charlie also went on to mock the absolute worst TikTok Jason made, where he tries to explain why people don't need to go to the gym. Who would have thought this guy would be against gyms, and who on earth would tell him that this was a good idea? Now, what was the result of all this brutal roasting, you might ask? Jason deleted his TikTok account and retired from making viral content altogether. Personally, I can't say that any of us will miss him much either. That's all for today's video. What do you think about Penguinz0's talent for exposing and absolutely roasting controversial YouTubers? Let me know in the comments. See you later!